1 minute. Jeff think he's got cooties going?
I don't know.
It's always exciting and swearing in.
Are you ready?
Oh,
We
I'm
start
sorry.
now?
Sorry about that. Sorry, man. He's adjusting.
All right, thank you. Welcome all to the Board of Works meeting. Great to see everyone here. We've got a very special ceremony here shortly. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ask you to rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Let the minutes reflect all members are present in-house, so there will be no roll call votes necessary today. To that extent, we will go to the approval of the minutes from the May 7th meeting that have been presented. Are there any corrections necessary?
Jeff is nodding no, and I didn't see anything, so I'll make a motion we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Great. All right, further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, thank you. We are also joined by our City Attorney Scott Royst and Jeremy Skinner, Director of Community Development. All right, so we are again very honored and privileged to be able to give the law enforcement oaths of office to Mason Metzginger and Paige Wood. We will have Mason come up first, and if he wants to bring his immediate family with him for the swearing in, that would be fine. Then we will follow that with Paige Wood. Again, if she has immediate family she wants to bring up with her for the oath of office, that would be great. Then at the end, we'll have pictures with all the family members, or any family member that wants to be involved in a picture. We'll do that over in front of the oath of office, or the city's oath. All right. So Mason, after I finish, I'll make it official. I'll have you sign and print your name on here, and then you're good to go. So thank you all for joining us today. Appreciate it. So Mason, if you would raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Mason J. Metzinger,
I, Mason J. Metzinger,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and comply with the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support and comply with the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Indiana,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Indiana,
the charter, laws, and ordinances of the city of Warsaw,
the charter and laws of the city of Warsaw,
the rules, regulations, and policies
rules and regulations and policies
of the Warsaw Police Department,
of the Warsaw Police Department,
and the law enforcement code of ethics,
and the law enforcement code of ethics,
and the canon of police ethics, the canons of police ethics,
the canons of police ethics,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
as a police officer
as a police
to
officer
the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. There's your name on there. Yeah, there's 2 copies. All right, thank you. And then we'll have Paige come up, please. Okay. How's everybody? Good. Thank you so much for coming to the support page. So if you've seen the drill, let's get started. If you want to raise your right hand. I, Paige E. Wood,
I, Paige E. Wood,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and comply with
that I will support and comply with
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Indiana,
of the State of Indiana,
the Charter, laws, and ordinances
the Charter, laws, and ordinances
of the City of Warsaw, Indiana,
of the City of Warsaw, Indiana,
the rules, regulations, and policies
the rules, regulations, and policies
of the Warsaw Police Department
of the Warsaw Police Department
and the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics
and the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics
and the canons of police ethics,
and the canons of police ethics,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
of my office as a police officer
of my office as a police officer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, it's official. We'll have a few pictures, but in just a moment, we've got, Mason, if you want to come back up front, we've got an award that you received at the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. Chief Whitaker will present.
Yeah, so Mason attended the 222nd Indiana Law Enforcement Academy basic session. And while there, he was awarded the Lieutenant Andy Anderson Firearms Proficiency Award, which is the most proficient, the top shot of all the cadets. Dated April 8, 2021, we want to officially acknowledge him at this award. So congratulations.
So Mason, if any and all of your family is welcome to come over by the city seal, and we'll take a few photos, and then we'll follow that with Paige and your family. Anyone that's welcome to come up.
I sanitize my hands, so I can help the family phones too.
While you guys are all lined up, not you, Scott, but could the rest of you family members tell me your names and the spelling of them? Recording them here. Lisa, that's it. Okay. L-I-S-A? Okay. And your mother? Okay. 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 Okay.
I'm Tony Messenger, COA.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Paige, Mason.
Rapid fire round. One more, last one. Okay, John?
They're getting pictures taken.
I know.
Breakfast was Mr. Basketball.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Okay, so let's see that picture. Well, now that one's empty.
All right, well, thank you all. Again, that's always a privilege to be able to do that. Those individuals have worked hard in their field training. They've worked hard at the Law Enforcement Academy. They've shown their commitment to the community, and it's just an honor to be able to officially welcome them into our profession, representing our city and our community at a somewhat difficult time for law enforcement across the land. So having that quality of individual is certainly gratifying to us and testimony to the types of individuals we've been able to put in that position. So again, thank you all. All right, a quick reminder, the Board of Works will return to its 10:30 starting time on June 4th. So this will be the last 11:15 meeting, if you will. Again, June 4th, we'll start back at 10:30. Doesn't appear to be any unfinished business. Chief's not here. All right, let's start with a road closure request. This is a Zimmer Biomet Veterans Resource Group. Jim, are you here? It doesn't appear that they've got a representative here. Their request is they're going to lay a wreath. Looks like, where's the date here? Thursday, May 27th. The road closure appears to be about a 45-minute road closure to be able to do that in front of the Zimmer building over on Main Street. So appreciate that event, and I know they missed last year, so I know they're anxious to honor the veterans within their organization, and we're happy to comply. Again, they're asking to close Main Street from 11. Looks like to 11:30, excuse me, to 12:15. It looks like it's next Thursday. So, questions?
No. Do you have any questions?
No, I move to approve.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, and then this will also be honoring a Gold Star, a Warsaw Gold Star family. They had this 2 years ago down at the pavilion, and it was a beautiful ceremony. They had good speaker, and they're going to do a 21-gun salute, so appreciate the ability to help them, that's for sure. All right. Okay, item 2, payment in lieu of taxes, request an increase. This would be, the city has the ability to increase the amount it takes from the Warsaw Wastewater utility in lieu of taxes, a payment in lieu of taxes. It is statutorily defined and was figured by Baker Tilly this year. With the significant expansion we've had at the wastewater treatment plant and improvements in the collection system, we had Baker Tilly go back and recalculate this, and we have worked with them to come up to an amount. Currently, wastewater utility pays the city $425,686. But again, with the expansion, there's a significant increase in the PILT, but we've settled down at $700,000, which in discussions with Baker Tilly will not impact rates nor expense issues. We're also looking forward to potential growth of the utility that will also help. So I know that's a lot. We don't very often look at the payment in lieu of taxes, but we wanted to bring this to the public and have the Board of Works acknowledge that calculation was indeed done by Baker Tilly in reference with the state, the statutory requirements, and we've settled in at $700,000 per year. Lynn, anything to add to that? I know you were helpful trying to get that done.
No, you got everything. You touched on all the points that were important. So the increase of the monthly transfer is going to be about $23,000 a month. Right now, we do $35,473, and that'll be increased to $58,333. And then we do the annual payment once we transfer that money in June.
Jeff, you might remember we talked about at council the other night about the city being required to bill all departments, both sewage and stormwater utility fees. So this will help offset that some bit, but we are required to do that. So, all right, any further questions?
No, I'll move to approve the increase in payment.
Second.
All right, again, further discussion or questions? Jeff, you look.
It's 700, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, all right. Just different numbers in there. I want to make sure it's 700 that Lynn wants.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And that's listed in her request on the
Yes.
top page.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Jennifer, got an agreement with CORE for some maintenance work?
Yes, we're just wanting to renew our agreement for maintenance for the air conditioning and heating system here at City Hall. They also help us out with some repairs and plumbing when needed as well.
All right. Any questions? So this appears to be routine type maintenance.
Yeah, I'll
Correct.
move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you. The next one, the safety manual, it's just, I'm just asking for recognition through the board. We did have one back in 2016, but we have updated it, had it reviewed with our current work comp provider, and they gave some suggestions. So I just want to
All right.
reintroduce that to the employees.
Any noteworthy changes?
Hearing conservation program, it was recommended when we had our walkthrough. As you may or may not know, I invite InSafe into the city, and use their resources to see how we're doing for safety-related matters. And that was one of the things that we had talked about in about 2 years ago, and we think that it's important to go ahead and kick that off this year.
All right. And then once this is approved, then how's it distributed to all the employees?
Right, we have a safety meeting actually next Tuesday. We'll get with the representatives of the departments, and we will give the paper copies to the ones who do not have a city email right now.
All right, great.
Otherwise, we'll just
Thanks.
email it.
Questions?
No, we all appreciate you keeping up on this stuff, very important for the city. So I'll move we approve that
Thank you.
safety manual as being redone.
Second.
All right, any more questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, great, thank you. And then you've got one travel request. This is for Lucas Vanderhart to go to Florida for DRE certification. Chief, you want to talk a little bit about this? I know this is an out-of-state travel, and we're feeling with what you've
Yeah,
what
so
you
this is
presented, we're
phase,
good with the travel side of it and the safety side of it.
this is phase 2 of this DRE certification that's been held. The first one was in Indianapolis, I believe, or in the Indy area. This is being funded by grant. The only expense we're going to have are going to be the meals. And we did verify, the COVID guidelines be followed during this course. This is the first out-of-state travel we've had since COVID-19.
And Chief got with me and talked about that. We're still limiting traffic, out-of-state travel to case-by-case basis, and I'm satisfied with his discussion and the importance and necessity of this course that I would recommend that you all approve that.
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thanks, Chief. Sorry, Jennifer, you've got one more item here, and this is the new hire change in payroll report.
Correct. We have some individuals who have stepped up to the plate, job development, that we're asking for permission. We have some new hires, some replacement, finishing up with our summer hires as well. And then the recently approved salary ordinance amendment that, for the second reading on Monday, just asking to go ahead and get ready, position for those increases as well for the police department. Those actually pay won't take effect until July, but I won't be here next.
I was just going to ask that payroll would be, wasn't it like June 26th? Or,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, it is mid-year.
To keep aligned with payroll number 14, probably.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
out of 26. Questions?
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank
Those
you.
opposed? All right, thanks, Jennifer. All right, Larry, got a request for permission to apply for a K-21 grant.
Yeah, this is a grant that would widen and recondition the current tennis courts at Bixler Park. It would allow us to put 4 pickleball courts there and keep 2 tennis courts. This is something that they did last year at Kelly Park. We put 4 pickleball courts out there, and it's been used. I mean, the use has just been incredible on it. So this is a growing trend, so we would like to incorporate pickleball courts at these courts as well. I'd like to put in a grant for $53,000 to the K-21 and then use our funds to offset the $82,540 project.
Certainly very appreciative of the opportunity with K-21. They've been very supportive of this type of activity, so certainly feel like it's appropriate to make that request. Questions?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, this next one, we're all really excited about. Larry, share the excitement, and then we'll handle the details here.
Well, we were actually able to go to the KCC RVC board, and they awarded us a grant for $29,660 to have kayak kiosks at the lakes. This would be at Center and Pike Lakes. They're actually a locker that holds the kayak, the paddle, and the life jacket in there, and they're a Bluetooth lock, so it's all app-based, so that you don't need employees there. So you dial up the app, It unlocks the Bluetooth. You use this stuff for an hour or all day. There's going to be 2 choices there. And then when you come back in, you put the stuff back in the locker, and when you close the lock, their transaction's complete. So very neat. We'll be the first ones in the state of Indiana to have something like this. They did a test pilot in Toledo last year at Toledo Metro Parks. Created about $20,000 worth of revenue for them. This company that we're using actually got the contract for all the Ohio State parks as well, so for this year. So it's a neat thing. We'd like to expand after this, and look at our paddle boards that we have, and we just have great lakes. I mean, they're 10-mile-an-hour lakes, and it's perfect for this kind of stuff. And in our 5-year master plan, this is what 85% of the people wanted to do. They wanted to get on our lakes and do things like this. So we're very excited about this. So we'd like your permission for this agreement and to go ahead and purchase this. This is a reimbursable grant, so we will purchase this and then they will reimburse us.
So this is a fully reimbursable grant?
Yes.
K-21?
Through the KCC RV.
Or excuse me, yeah, KCCRV.
That's great.
How were you made aware of this grant? I'm curious.
How was I made aware? They're always looking for ways to improve our parks, and so I went and I asked one of the representatives what they thought about this, and they just thought it was great. So I approached the board and went there, and they were all in favor of it. They thought it was a great thing to bring people, to our city, and when they're here at the hotels, it's something for them to do. So it was.
Larry, I know it'll take a little while to get these placed. Approximately, what's your timeline, and what are your specific locations at this point? Have they been decided?
They're looking at like a 90-day turnaround. Right now, kayaks are terrible to get, but they think they've got enough of them that they can do this in 90 days. And we're looking at actually, we just did a shoreline stabilization project at Pike Lake that has a canoe launch, and we're looking to put those right there to be able to use that canoe launch and kayak launch, put it right there in front of the restroom building there. That'll be there. And then at Center Lake, we're looking put it on the beach at Kitty Man side there, so they can just take them right out and take them in the lake and use them. So.
Great, great. Questions?
So what you're going to have the board approve today, though, is
Acceptance of the grant, of the funds.
Okay, that wasn't on my agenda, so I just have the kayak rental agreement.
Well, I would suppose that's on ours as well, but we have to accept that grant, and then we can also approve the contract all in one fell swoop if you're so inclined.
Well, I'm just saying, I have the contract, I don't have the acceptance thing.
Okay.
I can get that to you.
It doesn't, K21 or whoever have something they usually want us to sign?
KCCRVC.
It's typically a reimbursement grant, so you purchase the product and then you send them the invoice and then they reimburse you with the check. That's the way it usually works.
And it's going to be for the full 29?
660.
All right. You all good?
I'll move to approve the purchase and the agreement attached to it.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? You approved the purchase and the agreement, but did we accept?
We need to accept the.
We need to accept the funds, the grant from, and we can do that on a separate motion here. We need to accept the grant from KCCRVC. Is there a motion to do that?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Sorry about that.
No worries. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was my fault.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Chief, I think you're up, or maybe, yes, on the bulletproof vest.
Yes, the police department's just requesting your authorization to apply for the 2021 fiscal year U.S. Department of Justice Bulletproof Vest Program, the BVP. We've been doing this for a number of years. This will be for the purchase of, or estimating 11 vests to include new hires, and every 5 years we do a trade out to replace the vest. So it's a part of the replacement program and new hires.
All right.
In
And
the,
this
in the
is,
amount of 12,800, so it'd be for 6,400 would be the match.
your vests, if I remember correctly, are on kind of a rotation.
Correct. We're on a 5-year rotation as they expire, anywhere from, I guess, 5 years is the manufacturer that we use. And so every officer gets their vest replaced out every 5 years, and every new hire receives a new vest. And these vests are fitted specifically for the officers, so they can't be reused as we hire replacement officers.
So do you anticipate that the award will cover entirely, or will there be a match?
A
Or
match, it'd be 50% match.
Okay.
Have they improved those vests over the years?
Oh, yes,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
thought-
Yeah, they're much thinner, lighter, and handle, higher velocity.
Right.
They're definitely a good vest. The specific one we use, we're purchasing out of Indianapolis, so we'll have everybody go at one time to be sized specifically.
All right.
I'll
Jeff,
move to approve the request.
all right. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
you.
Stormwater, we've got looks like a change order for the Pike Lake restoration in the amount of $13,112.80.
Yeah, if you've been out by Pike Lake or along the park area, you see the stormwater stabilization project that occurred. It's 90% finished. There still has some planting to do in areas. There's some different zones, so homeowners can kind of see some options they have if they were to choose to do some sort of stabilization on their property. There's areas where people can access the lake to fish. But in this project, once they got north of that bridge, it goes over that little creek there, we found a bunch of glass in the soil. And so instead of trying to figure out a way to remove the glass, essentially what we're going to do is come in and cover it with fresh topsoil before we do any planting there.
All right. Questions?
Why glass? Where do you think glass came from?
I think all that area was dumped at one time. Just kind of, whether it's chemical glass or what at the time it was.
Just curious. Well,
Tried to get worked out.
no, that can't be good. I'll move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, and then along with that is the recommendation for payment number 1, the work's been authorized by our city engineer. Looks like it's in the amount of
82,247.65.
Correct.
there it is, right on that same page. All right,
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, next item is the recurrent grant services fee, a small amount, $1,170 for the SRF plant expansion project.
Yes, this is the monthly fee we get for NV grant services. They're the one that certify the payrolls and keep the documentation requirements for SRF.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. The next item is wastewater. This is a big deal.
This is a big deal.
That's bigger than the canoes or the kayaks.
This is bigger than the kayaks, you're right.
Of course, you could use the kayaks out there maybe too, I don't know.
Maybe.
So the certificate of substantial completion is being requested. I did read through that and just would like in plain language explain what that does by acknowledging that it looks like the one thing I saw that it starts the warranty period.
Yes, it starts the warranty period. So essentially at substantial completion, they're not final. They're paving today. They still have to do the grading and seeding and then you'll see there's also some exceptions. The Center Street Pump Station, which is where the old plant used to be, they're finishing up some work there, tying everything together. The garage that we built is not complete yet. And the UV post-air area was not complete at this time. You can see the date of February 10th is when we did a walkthrough and put punch lists together and those sorts of things. So substantial completion is we have beneficial use of it. It's basically being turned over to the city of Warsaw then.
And it also, I believe, gives them the start date for this punch list. Is there a required time to get those items done or not necessarily?
Just within the elements of the contract, we have a substantial completion date and a final completion date.
Got it. Okay. All right.
Can I assume that our city attorney reviewed this?
He's shaking his head, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Scott, would you say verbally yes so everyone in the room can hear you? He's coming on. Yes, all right, thank you.
I wanted to make sure he was really there.
Yes, he is there. All right, so that answers your question.
Okay.
Jeff, any other comments?
No.
Big project, long time coming, and certainly will create significant benefits and opportunities for our community. So,
I'll move that we accept the certificate of substantial completion.
Second.
any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, and with substantial completion comes a change order. You want to explain that?
Yes, and I did ask Westler to come today in case there was any questions I could not answer, because it is a decent-sized change order on a $26 million project. It's $500,000, so it's not, but I can walk through sort of each item. The headworks conduit epoxy coating, it's bare metal at this point, and that's a very corrosive environment, so we asked for a coating to be put on it so the conduit will hold up for more years. Item 2 was a big item, which is an obstruction in our clarifier number 1. A few of you were around, but if you remember, forget what year it was, we had the settling issue on that final clarifier, and we had to have them come in and remove everything and level the floor back up and then put all our equipment back in there. Well, during that process, apparently when they injected the grout to lift the concrete back up, somehow we must have had a problem with the pipe, and it partially filled that pipe with grout, so we couldn't get enough flow through that tank. So while they were retrofitting all the new equipment in, we had them look into that, and they had to cut the floor, remove a section of pipe, put a new piece in to fix that problem. So that's what that was for.
So it was the right time to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a change in, we had spec'd the wrong style of fixtures for our lighting poles. That was item number 3. Volute drains, conveyor modifications. On this is a piece on number 4, the volute drains. That is, the volute is something we use to de-water the sludge, make it drier. And the water just dumped out onto the floor. So we had them take and pipe it over to a drain so it didn't create such a mess and shorten cleanup time. And then we had some additional discharge chutes made because as that dryer material was coming off, it was hitting the belt and bouncing all over the floor and creating a big mess. Yard hydrant replacements. Our yard hydrants were original to the 03 plant, and they were starting to stick. We couldn't get them open, couldn't get them closed. We went with a better design. So we had the new ones, and then we had them retrofit all the old yard hydrants to the new design. Roof access, this is another big one on our new digesters. The lids are sloped, and you do have to get up there to maintain, to grease equipment, to do that sort of thing. So our big fear was during the winter trying to access these digesters, and you're, I don't know, what, 10, 12 feet off the ground, and we were afraid you would lose your footing, even it was going to be difficult to come up with an engineered solution so you could safety strap yourself off. So we came up with sort of a walk plank that you can actually just walk up to where you need to get to and maintain the equipment. But there's a lot of fabrication and engineering that went into designing that. And then the number 7 was just some items we discovered that we needed to make some adjustments how equipment works. So it was more electrical work, more programming work on programming the pumps and how to run. Let's see, there's just miscellaneous electrical components there. If you have any specific questions on those, I can answer any of those.
I think maybe just looking at that final big item, number 10, site improvements for runoff, 150,000, that's the biggest
Yes,
item.
so we had some areas that would hold water, and we wanted to get all the drainage corrected on this site. And then the big part, we added some bollards at different locations so you can't back into buildings or those sorts of things. Hose racks, reels. But the biggest part of that was probably, I don't know what percentage, a large percentage of the plant, the asphalt was all tore up, so it was going to be new anyways. But then some of our asphalt was from '03, some was from '08, some was from '12, and it all. So what this involved was any of the asphalt that was remaining, they're going to mill it and then just resurface it. And then, so that was a big part of the asphalt change there, but then everything will be of the same age, same quality. Get rid of all the cracking problems we have. On some of our walks through, we've added some safety chains where areas where we were afraid somebody had the potential where they could slip into a tank or something, so we added some more safety devices.
All right, questions? Thank you for reviewing that. I know it was a little tedious, but that's like you said, it's a pretty significant number, and it's important that that all be discussed or at least informed. Other questions?
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, Lynn, doesn't appear
Thank
to be
you.
any special claims,
No, there are no special claims.
and we've got the accounts payable register.
Yeah.
Any comments on that?
I don't have any more questions, do you?
No.
I'll move we approve the claims docket.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
We have a
Yeah, we've got a final item here, a take-home vehicle request. This is a walk-in. Jennifer?
Yes, so just asking permission to add Roger Sarver to the take-home vehicle list. As you know, we do this annually anyway. Typically, it's the end of the year for starting in January. Roger has had a take-home vehicle before in the past. We did not put him on the 2021 list. However, after discussion with Superintendent at the Street Department, Dustin, we feel like that at least through the summer months for Roger is a good idea. Just help with traffic signals, road closures, just being able to just go from his house and ready to respond.
All right.
Okay.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other items to come before the board? All right. Well, lot done today, a lot of significant activity, and appreciate hanging in there. Is there a motion to approve?
Adjourn.
Adjourn and approve.
There you go. I approve that we adjourn. I move to adjourn.
Thanks for the correction.
All right. Thank you.
Mayor.
All right. Not for long.
All right. You going to the